I am Aarote, Junior College Teacher, RBNB College, Srirampur. Today we see the topic Systematics of Living Organism in Unit Kingdom Animalia. Today we see the Kingdom Animalia. What is Kingdom Animalia? You always know about the animals on the earth. After the plants, the Kingdom Animalia are a very huge group. The animals will be found everywhere. Where? Inside the water, above the land, cursorial habit, burrowing habit, arboreal habit. Meaning of that, all places the animals can be found. What is the animals? What are the features about the animal, or what are the difference between plants as well as animal? Because both are the living organism. Plants and animals are the living organism. But what is the main difference between the plants as well as animal? Animals are living group. Plants are also the living group, but they are separated from plant. That is animal. So Kingdom Animalia again is a very huge group because they are dependent on that is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, or as a organism or as animals are the heterotrophic because lack of the chlorophyll pigment, they, that is animal cannot synthesize their own food material. So these animals are the heterotrophic, that is the having holozoic mode of nutrition. What is holozoic mode of nutrition? Some animals are the vegetarian, or some are the that is eat. Some animals depend on the food for this. Some animals that is the non-vegetarian. Best example, suppose we see that is lions eat the some other animals. So human being, that is mode of nutrition, that is holozoic, both type of the, that is a vegetable as well as animals is eaten by the organism or the animal. So if we see between these animals, Kingdom Animalia, these are the very huge group, but the mode of nutrition about this, it will be the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. What is meant by heterotrophic mode of nutrition? The lack of chlorophyll pigment. The chlorophyll pigment is absent in mammals or as Animalia, so they cannot synthesize their own food material. So the mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, that is the holozoic mode of nutrition. Then as an important thing between the animal, difference between the plant as well as animal, that is the locomotion is an important. What is the locomotion? The locomotion, probably the Animalia, the most of the members having the locomotory organs, because these are the main feature of the Kingdom Animalia, that is the locomotion. म्हणजे living organism having the locomotion, but some plants cannot locomote, but they fix their on the substratum. These are the, it will be studied into the next topic, that is the Kingdom Animalia, but one example will be given to you. Best example, that is the phylum Porifera. The best example is sponges. These sponges cannot move, cannot locomote, so they are fixed on one at the same place. Some animals cannot locomote, but probably some animals can locomote from one place to the another place. So the locomotion or the locomotory or locomotion found into the Kingdom Animalia. Then animals are the multicellular and eukaryotic. Some animals are the prokaryotic, but some animals are the eukaryotic and multicellular. What is multicellular? If the habit of the living organism or the growth of the organism, that is the body of this organism form number of cells as well as tissue. So this multicellular organism and eukaryotic. If see the life of this organism is very long. Eukaryotic means that is the U means long lasting and karyon means that is the nucleus. Nucleus survive or live for a long period or is a long time. So the the animals are the multicellular as well as eukaryotic, and they can move for what important things. Which are these things? For the food, to search the food, shelter. Animals can move from one place to another place for three important things. One is the food, second is the shelter, and third is the reproduction. So the locomotion of the living organism is held for three important things: for search of food, then for shelter, and then for reproduction. Between some animals, locomotion cannot be found for these three things. So reproduction of this organism is not a sexual type. So asexual type of the reproduction of this organism can be found. So the animals as an important character we see, if we compare with the plants as well as animals, the vigorous growth of the plants can be found. That is, if we observe the aerial part of the plants, the vigorous growth of the plants can be found. So growth of these plants will be seen continuous. Is compared to the animals or the organism, the growth is continuous, but vertical growth is limited of these animals. So in between these, that is the limited growth of the animals can be found. Animals cannot grow like of the any type of the tree. So if we see the best example of the human being, that is the highest growth of the highest length of the animals is near about 7 feet, or as a so much so far. It may be reduced or it may be increases, but not more than 7 feet. So these are the limited growth of the human being can be found compared to the plants, because plants having the unlimited growth, that is the aerial part, stem, root, leaves, or as they will be grown vigorously, abundantly, is compared to the living organism like of the animals. So animals having the limited growth, but continuous growth can be found, but having some limitation. And within this kingdom Animalia, some features or simple important characters for the studying of these animals. Eukaryotic and prokaryotic organisms can be found. They will be classified. Again, the kingdom classification again get classified into the so many division, classes, phylum, so on so. But here only we study the kingdom Animalia is an important group on the earth as compared to the plants, because these are again also as a very huge group on the earth. These are the living group on the earth, and because in kingdom classification, plants and animals get grouped into the two sub kingdom, because both are the living organism. But that is the mode of nutrition. Plants are the autotrophic and the animals are the heterotrophic. So they are grouped into two major groups, that is plant as well as animal. So these are the major two groups. They are dependent, that is the kingdom plantae as well as animal are divided on one important character. First is the photosynthetic, that is the synthesis of their food material, that is the autotrophic as well as heterotrophic. Plants are the autotrophic and animals are the heterotrophic. So these groups are separated into this kingdom or as a classification system. Then locomotion is an important factor. Locomotion cannot be found inside the plant, but locomotion will be found only into the animals is an important heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Locomotion. Then multicellular and eukaryotic organism will be found on the earth. These are the very huge group. Lack of the chlorophyll pigment, or as a then important thing between these, that is the limited growth of the plants, unlimited growth of the plants, but animals have the limited growth is an important factor. So next time we see the viruses or as viroids into the next point. Today only this kingdom plantae in short will be given into the systematics of the living organism. Briefly will be studied into the next topic, that is kingdom Animalia as a complete classification. Next lecture we see here we can stop here, that is the kingdom Animalia, and see the next time. Thank you.